This is the AI-assisted marine inspection reporting application by Erica, Alan, and myself, Aaron. So our motivation for this project centers around the long labor-intensive process it takes for marine survey inspectors to fill out their reports, forms, or other documentation. Here they often rely on memory or their notes to complete this process, and it's very long. So our program aims to automate the majority of this form filling. And we created a AI-based chat agent that the inspector will use throughout their inspection, where they upload images, record audio messages, or just send text to the chat. And at the end of their inspection, the chat with all the data it collected will be able to complete the forms automatically. So our mentor dictated our workflow, and he separated us into three different versions of this same project. And every week we would meet up, and each of us would show one new feature from our different versions. And our mentor would give us feedback and provide suggestions or directions on to where to take our project. And he would also tell us areas that we're overlooking that could be automated from the inspection. For this project, we did use Claude and Codex to program as suggested by our mentor so that we can actually bring new features every single week and we would all be at the same pace or area in our individual projects. And then in the end, we took the strongest features from all three of our projects and merged them into one final application.
So for the chat-based inspection app that helps make inspection process easier and faster, it brings together a few features like the audio transcription, image analysis, and OCR for forms and reports. The main goal was to reduce how much of documentation had to be done manually. And in the end, we built something that helps collect information on site and turn it into a report that can be exported later. One of the main features we worked on was the OCR form recognition. The idea behind this is so the user can upload either a blank inspection form or a completed one, and the system can analyze that and figure out which fields on the form to extract. If the form is blank, it could be turned to a reusable template, which saves time for future inspections. And if the form is already filled out, uh, the app can pull that information and save it as evidence that can be looked back on for future uses if needed to. So this helps make the workflow more organized and it cuts down on repeated manual setup.
Our AI-powered visual checklist feature allows the user to automate checking off a checklist by uploading an image through the chat box. The user is able to take a photo or select a photo from their gallery. Once the image is uploaded, it will open on an image tab. The image will then go through Claude's image classification process, and Claude will return the components it found of the picture. It will also return a confidence score with a brief description of what is going on in the photo.
With this program, the inspector is also able to upload audio messages that are transcribed using the Whisper API. And the program will build this library of all the audio messages uploaded by the inspector. And then when they use the program to fill out their reports, if any of the data that the program used is pulled from an audio message, it will provide a timestamp to the relevant audio message, and the inspector can click on that timestamp and see if what was transcribed is what was actually said in the audio message.
Some of the challenges that we faced through this project was our initial challenge of having three separate versions that had to implement pretty similar features. We realized that by collaborating together, we would be able to have all our features housed on one base, and we'd be able to truly refine and perfect the features that we were working on. The next challenge that we faced was being able to merge all three separate versions on GitHub without merge conflicts. And we also wanted to make sure that our versions and features were compatible with each other since we had started off completely different code. The new workflow was we went from having three individual versions, meeting with our faculty weekly to get individual critiques, to now having one main app where we truly were able to refine the features and push automation to make sure that the inspector's job was as simple as possible.
For this project, one thing we learned that was super useful was Codex and Claude. Using them helped speed up the development of our app. It helped with a lot of the smaller tasks and features, while we got to spend more time on the main purpose and how the app is supposed to work. We also learned a lot about prompt engineering. Basically, the cleaner our prompts were, the better results we got back. So it became a really important part as we developed our app. Another big thing was debugging. We ran into a lot of issues building different features. So as we got better at debugging, it became faster at fixing those problems. And finally, the collaboration part was it was huge in this project. Since we all had separate versions, uh, towards the end we had to compromise and kind of pick what parts we wanted to include into the final version of our product. So overall, these are the main points that we learned and that we took from creating this project. And that concludes our capstone project. Thank you, and let us know if you have any questions.